One of my favorite guns of all time is the Mauser C96. It was one of the first semi-automatic pistols ever made. That retro World War I era aesthetic is so cool. In Fallout 3, it made an appearance as the Chinese pistol. It was not in New Vegas, but that can be changed with the Another Millennia mod. It's the best NV weapon pack out there, try it for yourself. Thanks to great modders, I can ask the question, can you beat Fallout New Vegas with only the Chinese pistol? In addition to only using this gun, I also have one other rule. Our weapon is Chinese, so every dog I see I have to kill and eat. Now, into the challenge. I put strength at 1 because it's such a weak weapon in Fallout 3. I figured it would have no strength requirement. That was a mistake though. I invested points into luck and agility instead for crits and AP, also intelligence for skill points. Guns, lockpicking, and speech for skills, skilled, and Logan's loophole for traits. I collected a ton of stuff in Doc Mitchell's to sell for caps, and went to Chet. He didn't have a Chinese pistol for sale, so I checked Gene's skydiving for one, but didn't find one there either. So it's time for the Big Mountain shortcut. I visited the Gunrunners at the 188 and they didn't have one. Once I got to the main Gunrunners vendor, they didn't have one either. Neither did the Crimson Caravan. Now I wasn't going to go to every vendor in the wasteland to check for the pistol, so I waited 3 days and the Gunrunners got one in stock. Good. Now we can go hunt geckos with Sunny. But remember that second rule? Oh no, friendly fire! Sorry about killing your dog, Sunny, but I can't let the meat go to waste. One thing to notice immediately is this pistol seems to be substantially better than the one in Fallout 3. I tried shooting the powder gangers from afar, but wasn't doing too great because the strength requirement of the gun is 3. The convicts in Prim got, and I found that Deputy Beagle had somehow shot himself in the back of the head while his hands were tied. How mysterious. I'm only 2 science points away from being able to reprogram Prim Slim, so I get some experience from fighting Cazadors, and level up to 4. Then I go back to Prim Slim and make him sheriff. I then go back to the 188 trading post to walk to the El Dorado station since it's close by. I'm all over the place for this run. I also find a dead courier that's over there. He has a few weapon repair kits that I can take. After picking up a snack, I kill some Vipers, which nets me a nice suit of combat armor. I then head to Novak and try to no avail to get on this roof.
What's going on, man?
I confirmed Bachelor Manny and head straight for Boulder City. I killed the NCR troopers and talked to Jessup, but what I did wasn't good enough for him, so I decided to kill the cons too. The ones outside were actually pretty tough. Stripper clips aren't exactly the fastest way to reload. Can we just take a moment to appreciate these animations? I thought I would do a good deed and free the NCR hostages, but they immediately became hostile. One picked up a gun and killed me, and then I had to fight the cons again. Very cool. We've got to go through Freeside to get to the strip, and while I'm there, I decide to do the Garrett's quests. I collect from the debtors and convince the 2 I can to become prostitutes. I ask Mick for a sexbot holotape, and he says it'll take a few days. So for now, I'll head to the tops. For the first time ever, I actually got ambushed by Benny's thugs, and he escaped to the fort. Upon talking to Yes Man, I leveled up to 8, and put a point into strength with intense training. I want to fix that weapon sway. I'm gonna side with him, so I need to meet the factions of New Vegas. I go to the boomers and ignore them, and then decide to head to the fort myself. I found another dead courier, stood on some air, and arrived at Cottonwood Cove. This is when the second rule started to become significant. There was a Legion dog there, and I had a real hankering for its flesh. Now how am I gonna do that? Well, I go into Aurelius of Phoenix's office and kill him. Then I take his armor. Then I go out and shoot the dog, go back inside, kill the Legionnaires that followed me in, and put on the disguise. Then when I walk out, they're not hostile and I can take the dog meat. Smart, right? But that won't exactly work at the fort, so I stock up on ammo and take the raft there. I killed everyone in the first zone and tried to go for the second, but just couldn't. The SMG guys were too much. I tried using a stealth boy to get past them, but they are dogs. This stupid joke rule is really adding some challenge. What I ended up having to do was pretty crazy. I snuck up to the dogs and killed them, and whatever Legion guys got in my way. I then looped back around and picked up the dog meat while running from the others. I thought, oh, I can get out of here now. But then I remembered I still had to get the chip. Since I still had the stealth boy up, I could become hidden and put on the Centurion armor and walk up to Caesar's tent without being attacked. But once I'm in the tent, the disguise won't work because they'll see through it. So I've got to deal with Caesar and his guards the old-fashioned way. Ring around the rosy. The game kept crashing in the tent, and it was every time I'd run out of fluted ammo. I tried dropping it, but that caused the game to crash too. It's a mod ammo type, so I disabled it, and then it worked fine. It took a ton of ammo, and wore down my gun's condition, but I managed to take out Caesar and his guards. I then executed Benny, and found that neither him nor Caesar had the chip on them. This worried me, but the game acted like I got it, so it was fine. Now how am I going to get out of here? Well, if I just unequip and re-equip a Legion disguise, the guys outside won't be hostile. Isn't that just swell? Really swell. I don't know where all these guys came from. After all that nonsense, running past the Securitrons and killing House was a cinch. Oops, had a little negligent discharge there. After talking to the Ranger, we can ignore the Brotherhood, and then I head north of Goodsprings for another dead courier. Normally there would be Cazadors where he is, but this time there was a single Great Khan with a red Steyr Og. I think she's supposed to be dead, so I fixed that. I hit level 10 and raise my strength to 3, getting rid of the pistol's sway. I then go to the Great Khans and leave, and head north to the dead courier by the aliens. Oh no, I have to kill Billy. Sorry, Billy. Now Mick has the holotape ready, and I gun down some lightly armed grandmas to install it to the robot. I go back to the strip and kill McLafferty, and try to meet the White Gloves. I go in and enter attack mode, but immediately leave. Yes Man slides around and enters Mr. House's computer, and I ignore the Omertas. Apparently it didn't count me meeting the White Gloves, so I went back, talked to them normally, and went back to Yes Man. This didn't count either, so I went back and killed some of them. Even that didn't work. I still couldn't ignore them. I had to kill both Mortimer and Margarine before it would trigger. Going back there 4 times was pretty annoying. I got a weird recoil compensator for our C96. I would have preferred a suppressor personally. I then pick up an NCR uniform from Fiend territory and put the thing at Eldorado substation. Then I went to Goodsprings to look for a unique Chinese pistol that supposedly exists there, but I couldn't find it. But I did find a unique one on a boat by Cottonwood Cove. It's called Freedom's Wing, and it's chambered in 45 ACP. That's actually more realistic. The Chinese pistol is specifically based on the Shanxi Type 17, which was a Chinese copy of the C96. It's in 45 because the warlord's army that manufactured them used Thompson SMGs, and it was good for logistics. I kind of blitzed through the main quest this time, so I decided to do more quests before Hoover Dam. This is when I remembered, the Khans are based off Mongolians. Mongolians. I killed some aliens, Driver Nephi, Violet, and Cook, then went back to Camp McCarran. The trooper from Eldorado followed me all the way there. Wow, these aliens are messy. They spilled their glowing green goo. Look at that, Billy respawned. Guess it's time for seconds. In the alien bunker, I finally got rapid reload. That should be helpful. I teleported up to the alien mothership, and I was having too hard a time killing the super soldiers, so I abandoned that quest. Thomas followed me in there, that's funny. I did some more mod questing, and then went to the Mojave Outpost to repair Freedom's Wing. It for some reason can't be repaired with other Chinese pistols. This is my first time coming here in this playthrough, so I killed the ants as one last thing before finishing off the game. Ranger Jackson was standing on his chair and the other guy sat down in it and clipped through him. Now for Hoover Dam. Freedom's Wing does very well against the first enemies. It is in 4 to 5 after all. This Securitron blew himself up with his own explosion. I'm thankful it wasn't me for once. Inside the offices, I killed the heavy troopers because I forgot I had 80 speech. I then blew up the dam's generators and put on an NCR trooper uniform so they didn't attack me. Going outside, the Securitrons blew me up. Of course. I took cover and let them advance and made it to the Legate's camp. I had 80 speech so I could convince him to fight one-on-one. and it was easy as ever because he just ran around like a moron. I actually do have a Meeting People magazine, but I never got the comprehension perk, so it only buffs 10 points. So I had to take on Oliver, which I did successfully after ingesting all the chems I had. With that, I beat Fallout New Vegas with the Chinese pistol. Would I recommend this challenge? If you're a C96 fan, like me, then sure. Another Millennia has a Snell Force, so I'd recommend you try that out. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more challenge videos like this.